Being disrespectful will cost you. Some years ago, I was married to a man, and with this man, he disrespected me, his children, his ex-wife, side chicks, mama, daddy, kids. I mean, you get the point. Cousins, family. He had everybody disrespecting me. Now, with that being said, is that, and yes, he allowed it. That's why it takes place. That being said, when his mother and father disrespected me, I could have called them by their names, but I didn't. And I chose not to disrespect them because, for one, that was his mother and father. I didn't. And most importantly, number one, is because God told me not to. So even within every fiber of my being, I wanted to call them out their name. Rightfully, they would have deserved it. I mean, they really deserved it. But because God told me not to, I still call them Mr. and Mrs. Even towards the very end, when they kicked me off the property me and my husband was living at the time, I called them Mr. and Mrs. Fast forward. Okay, there are people who is committed to being disrespectful. This could be family members, friends, co-workers, people who married into the family, your children, your parents, even your parents and siblings. Now, when me and cousins, when I say this, uncles and aunts, now when I say this does not apply to everybody, because me, I'm the type of person, I don't like to box everybody in. Things like this happen to certain people, but not everybody. So that's why I word my videos the way it is, because you have people literally out there wording things that try to fit everybody in the category, but everybody cannot be boxed in. Do you not understand what I'm saying? So this does not fit everybody. There were stepmothers who don't have a problem with the ex-wife or children, or you know what I'm saying. There are stepmothers who do. There are mother-in-laws who do not have problems with the daughter-in-law, or vice versa. But there are some who do. There are daughter-in-laws nobody talk about who have problems with the mother-in-laws, and some of them do and some of them don't, and they don't. Nobody talks about this stuff. They only do it one way, but that is not everybody's story. Okay, so that's the thing. So with that being said, there are people out here who is committed to lying, to try to manufacture events that never happened, to say that, for instance, it would be like a daughter-in-law, for instance, because nobody talks about this. A daughter-in-law who says that the mother-in-law is doing something to her and she's lying. Okay, there would be instances where a mother-in-law would say that the daughter-in-law is doing all this kind of stuff and she's not. There'd be instances where an ex will say, oh, this person's doing something and she's not. Do you get what I'm saying? Everybody is not the same. Everybody is not the same. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because for one, there are people out there who literally, like, in situations, they don't care as long as you don't bother them. I'm gonna put that out there. Now, with that being said, there are people literally who's out here manufacturing situations that has never happened. A lot of people are insecure. A lot of people are full of envy and jealousy. So the moment you are doing something, or you a person that they don't like, that they thought, because for one, they thought you had to be fake like them, and you're not. You don't have to go to social media or even get men's attention to be like, oh, this and that, and they don't like that about you, because why? You are real and authentic. Okay, so a lot of these people need people to constantly validate them, tell them how they look, tell them what's going on with their life, needing people always around them, be like, those are your friends, when in fact you don't have friends. And I'm gonna tell you that truly, you really don't. And it's rare that if you do. And if you truly have a friend, and I mean a true friend, it's best to keep them and don't let them go, because they're a dime in a dozen, baby. They're a dime in a dozen. Now, with that being said, is that there are people out here that is constantly starting things, constantly being disrespectful. Even if you ask a question before, and you don't even really talk, you just asking a question, they're like da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? They come into midst like they want to fight you. Now, granted, if they would have caught you 5-6 years ago, because you was about that life, they would have got them fists. They would have got them hands, and I'm not talking about biblical hands anyway. So there are people who are committed to even coming in your life trying to stir up the old you. And because God has warned them multiple times about their disrespect, about their constant disrespect. And not only they're teaching people even around them to disrespect you, including their own children. Because they curse you. They should have never did that. It's going to come back on them. not because of anything. It's because of what they're doing. They constantly trying to cause harm to you. They're constantly trying to do things to you to get you to what people would say will come out of character. Because they didn't put this face onto everybody in the world like they this great person when in fact they're not. I wish you would see behind the scenes in many people's homes. I wish you would see the way how they live. A lot of people don't even clean up. A lot of people don't even bathe. A lot of people don't do a lot of things. But for social media, they'll glam it out. A lot of people relationships ain't real. A lot of people marriages is not real. A lot of people relationships with their children, husbands, family is not real. So when it comes to reality, that's why I stay off social media when it comes to like that. I live it. I don't have to post a fake one. And that's what a lot of people don't like about true, authentic people. Because while you're not out here making and conjuring, and yes, I'm going to say that, lies, you are actually living. And you are doing things what God has called you to do. Now, with that being said, there are people out here who are pretending to be Christian as well, when in fact they're not. They say they believe in Jesus or God, when in fact they truly don't. Their life does not speak anything about Jesus Christ. But yet these are the same people that God has warned constantly about uprising against you, because of what it boils down. A lot of these people are witches. Yes, I said it. Because a lot of you people don't think that a lot of people know that what you're doing. Because why God allowed that person to come into your life to give you mercy and grace and to offer your hand for you to come out of that darkness into light. But yet you're trying to use those curses against a child of the Most High King. And how do you think that's going to happen, and how you think that's going to go for you? Not very well. It don't matter who you are, who you think you are, as a matter of fact. It does not matter. And frankly, I think you already know. But a lot of you like to push your luck. A lot of you like to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. A lot of people with common sense would know to stop. But there are a lot of you who keep on doing it and thinking that there's going to be no consequences. But a lot of you getting sickness. And it's going to be a lot worse. And a lot of you it will be death. Because you don't know when to quit. And no, it's not. It's because you cursed yourselves. The moment you spoke against them, you end up cursing yourselves. The moment you went against the very thing, because why God was giving you and extending you mercy and grace, and He always do that. Just because you say you with God does not mean that you are. And there are people who are not with God. This is for too as well. A lot of you curse yourselves. A lot of you harm yourselves for what you do to others. And your disrespect is going to cost you dearly.